Unit 50, 2451. Alliteration, alliteration, alliteration. Repetition of sounds. 2452. Bastion, 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 fortress, stronghold. 2453. Circumlocution, 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 wordy expression, periphrasis. 2454. Debutante, 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 young social debut, young lady. 2455. Dolt, 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 a stupid person, idiot. 2456. Embargo, 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 official ban, prohibition. 2457. Equanimity, 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 calmness, composure. 2458. Hindrance, 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 obstacle, barrier, aid. 2459. Hue, 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 color, shade. 2460. Incarnation, 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 embodiment, manifestation. 2461. Larder, 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 pantry, storeroom. 2462. Microcosm, 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 small system representing a whole, miniature, macrocosm. 2463. Obstetrician, 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 childbirth doctor, doctor. 2464. Odium, 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 hatred, detestation. 2465. Raiment, 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 clothing, garment. 2466. Regimen, 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 prescribed routine, routine. 2467. Reticence, 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 restraint in speech, reserve, openness. 2468. Secession, 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 withdrawal, exit, union. 2469. Shyster, 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 dishonest lawyer, fraud. 2470. Sincerity, 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 honesty, genuineness. 2471. Topography, 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 study of land features, terrain. 2472. Travail, 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 painful effort, labor. 2473. Virtue, 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 moral, excellence, integrity, vice. 2474. Bandy, 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 to exchange words, banter. 2475. Beseech, 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 to beg urgently, implore. 2476. Debunk, 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 to expose falseness, disprove. 2477. Deviate, 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 to stray. Diverge, conform. 2478. Diverge, 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 to separate. Deviate, converge. 2479. Embark, 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 to begin, commence. 2480. Embellish, 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 to decorate, adorn. 2481. Hoard, 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 to accumulate, secretly, stash. 2482. Lampoon, 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 to mock, parody. 2483. Shimmer, 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 to shine softly, gleam. 2484. Smolder, 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 to burn slowly, amber, extinguish. 2485. Choleric, 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 easily angered, irritable, calm. 2486. Disinterested, 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 impartial, unbiased, biased. 2487. Epic, 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 heroic, heroic. 2488. Ethereal, 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 heavenly, delicate, earthly. 2489. Fractious, 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 irritable, grumpy, easygoing. 2490. Muggy, 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 humid, humid, dry. 2491. Observant, 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 attentive, alert, unaware. 2492. Pristine, 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 unspoiled, immaculate, spoiled. 2493. Quaint, 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 charmingly old-fashioned, picturesque, modern. 2494. Remediable, 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 curable, correctable, incurable. 2495. Repugnant, 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 offensive, abhorrent, pleasant. 2496. Rigid, 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 stiff, inflexible, flexible. 2497. Sacrilegious, 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 irreverent, blasphemous, pious. 2498. Subsequent, 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 following, ensuing, preceding. 2499. Bedizen, 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 to dress gaudily, adorn. 2500. Scuttle, 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 to sink purposely, scuttle. Unit 51. 2501. Allure, 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 attraction, charm. 2502. Detergent, 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 cleaning agent, soap. 2503. Enclave, 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 enclosed area, enclosure. 2504. Finesse, 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 skillful handling, skill. 2505. Gadfly, 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 annoying critic, critic. 2506. Leniency, 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 mercy, compassion, severity. 2507. Libel, 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 written defamation, defamation. 2508. Nonchalance, 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 casual indifference, indifference. 2509. Pauper, 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 very poor person, beggar. 2510. Precinct, 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 district, district. 2511. Proliferation, 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 rapid increase, expansion. 2512. Précis, 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 concise summary, summary. 2513. Pyromaniac, 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 one who loves fire, arsonist. 2514. Renegade, 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 deserter, traitor. 2515. Subpoena, 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 legal summons, summons. 2516. Summation, 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 sum, conclusion, summary. 2517. Symmetry, 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 balance, proportions, proportion. 2518. Anticipate, 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 to expect, predict. 2519. Disgorge, 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 to vomit, eject, emit. 2520. Glaze, 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 to coat with shine, coat. 2521. Grill, 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 to question intensely, question. 2522. Inoculate, 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 to vaccinate, immunize. 2523. Log, 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 to record, record. 2524. Muster, 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 to gather, assemble, disperse. 2525. Obviate, 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 to prevent, preclude, necessitate. 2526. Oscillate, 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 to swing, vacillate. 2527. Palliate, 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 to relieve, alleviate. 2528. Pan, to criticize harshly, criticize. 2529. Plumb, to measure depth, to examine, probe. 2530. Probe, to investigate, investigate. 2531. Spawn, to produce offspring, generate. 2532. Stoke, to feed a fire, fuel. 2533. Abject, wretched, miserable, exalted. 2534. Adequate, sufficient, satisfactory, inadequate. 2535. Affected, pretentious, artificial, genuine. 2536. Bogus, fake, spurious, genuine. 2537. Calorific, heat-producing, energetic. 2538. Catholic, universal, eclectic, narrow. 2539. Egotistical, self-centered, conceited, modest. 2540. Exotic, foreign, unusual, native. 2541. Fragile, easily broken, delicate, robust. 2542. Imperceptible, unnoticeable, slight, noticeable. 2543. Indigenous, native, aboriginal, foreign. 2544. Inveterate, habitual, chronic, sporadic. 2545. Monochromatic, of one color, unicolor, multicolored. 2546. Multilingual, speaking many languages, polyglot, monolingual. 2547. Rhetorical, persuasive, eloquent. 2548. Subdued, quieted, restrained, boisterous. 2549. Subsidiary, secondary, auxiliary, primary. 2550. Wily, skilled at gaining advantage, crafty, naive. Unit 52. 2551. Adherent, supporter, follower. 2552. Artisan, skilled craftsperson, craftsman. 2553. Avalanche, snowslide, slide. 2554. Decrepitude, state of decay, senility, vigor. 2555. Filibuster, delaying tactic, stall. 2556. Hibernation, winter sleep. 2557. Ignominy, shame, disgrace, honor. 2558. Kernel, seed. 2559. Morass, bog, difficult situation, swamp. 2560. Neologism, a newly coined word, coinage. 2561. Novelty, newness, innovation. 2562. Pedant, narrowly academic person, scholar. 2563. Peregrination, travel, journey. 2564. Perjury, perjury, lying under oath, falsehood, truth. 2,565. Remonstrance, 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 protest, objection. 2,566. Tautology, 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 redundant expression, repetition. 2567. Waif, 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 homeless person, stray. 2568. Abate, 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 to lessen, diminish, increase. 2,569. Babble, 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 to talk foolishly, prattle. 2570. Cajole, 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 to persuade, coax. 2571. Collaborate, 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 to work together, cooperate. 2572. Indicate, 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 to show, demonstrate. 2573. Jeopardize, 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 to risk, endanger, protect. 2,574. Stifle, 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 to suppress, smother, encourage. 2,575. Temporize, 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 to delay, stall. 2576. Wet, 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 to sharpen, strop. 2577. Belligerent, 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 hostile, aggressive, peaceful. 2,578. Deciding, 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 conclusive, final. 2579. Headstrong, 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 stubborn, willful, obedient. 2,580. Heedless, 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 careless, reckless, cautious. 2,581. Heinous, 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 horrible, atrocious, praiseworthy. 2,582. Horticultural, 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 related to gardening. 2583. Limber, 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 flexible, supple, stiff. 2,584. Mellifluous, 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 sweet-sounding, harmonious, harsh. 2,585. Motley, 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 diverse, varied, uniform. 2,586. Multifarious, 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 varied, diverse, limited. 2,587. Nuanced, 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 having subtle distinctions, subtle, blunt. 2,588. Omnipresent, 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 everywhere, ubiquitous, rare. 2,589. Omniscient, 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 all-knowing, all-seeing. 2,590. Operative, 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 functioning, effective, ineffective. 2,591. Posthumous, 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 after death, postmortem, prenatal. 2,592. Propitious, 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 favorable, auspicious, inauspicious. 2,593. Prurient, 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 arousing sexual desire, lustful, chaste. 2,594. Reparable, 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 fixable, correctable, irreparable. 2,595. Sadistic, 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 deriving, pleasure from pain, cruel. 2,596. Sinewy, 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 tough, muscular, weak. 2,597. Touchy, 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 easily offended, sensitive, tolerant. 2,598. Unbridled, 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 unrestrained, uncontrolled, restrained. 2,599. Aloft, 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 up in the air, above, below. 2,600. Prudently, 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 cautiously, carefully, recklessly. Unit 53. 2601. Curmudgeon, curmudgeon, curmudgeon. A bad-tempered, surly person. Grump, crank, optimist. 2602. Dwarf, dwarf, dwarf. A very small person or thing. Midget, pygmy, giant. 2603. Ambience, ambience, ambience. The character and atmosphere of a place. Atmosphere, mood. 2604. Apprehension, apprehension, apprehension. Anxiety or fear about the future. Anxiety, worry, confidence. 2605. Incentive, incentive, incentive. Something that motivates or encourages. Motivation, inducement. Deterrent. 2606. Vendetta, vendetta, vendetta. A prolonged bitter quarrel or campaign. Feud, grudge, peace. 2607. Anthropologist, anthropologist, anthropologist. Someone who studies human societies and cultures. Ethnologist. 2608. Indentation, indentation, indentation. A space left at the beginning of a line of text. Notch, recess, protrusion. 2609. Spectrum, spectrum, spectrum. A range of related qualities or ideas. Range, scale. 2610. Emissary, emissary, emissary. A person sent on a special mission. Envoy, messenger. 2611. Partiality, partiality, partiality. Unfair bias in favor of one thing or person. Bias, favoritism, impartiality. 2612. Kudos, kudos, kudos. Praise and honor received for an achievement. Acclaim, praise, criticism. 2613. Alias, alias, alias. A false or assumed identity. Pseudonym, by name, real name. 2614. Avarice, avarice, avarice. Extreme greed for wealth or material gain. Greed, cupidity, generosity. 2615. Addiction, addiction, addiction. A compulsive need for and use of a habit-forming substance. Dependency, habit, detachment. 2616. Martyr, martyr, martyr. Someone who dies for a cause. Sufferer, sacrificer, beneficiary. 2617. Effrontery, effrontery, effrontery. Shameless boldness, insolence, audacity, impudence, meekness. 2618. Solecism, solecism, solecism. A grammatical mistake or breach of etiquette. Blunder, error, correctness. 2619. Archives, archives, archives. Historical records or documents. Records, annals. 2620. Controvert, controvert, controvert. To argue against, to dispute or oppose. Challenge, dispute, confirm. 2621. Check, check, check. To examine or stop progress. Inspect, halt, allow. 2622. Primp, primp, primp. To spend time making minor adjustments to one's appearance. Groom, neglect. 2623. Agitate, agitate, agitate. To disturb, excite, or anger. Provoke, stir up, calm. 2624. Renovate, renovate, renovate. To restore to good condition. Refurbish, restore. Demolish. 2625. Trigger, trigger, trigger. To cause to happen. Initiate, activate. Inhibit. 2626. Inculcate, inculcate, inculcate. To instill by persistent instruction. Instill, implant, eradicate. 2627. Reciprocate, reciprocate, reciprocate. To give in return or respond in kind. Repay, return, withhold. 2628. Dissimulate, dissimulate, dissimulate. To disguise or conceal one's true feelings or intentions. Feign, pretend, reveal. 2629. Beguile, beguile, beguile. To charm or enchant, often deceptively. Deceive, charm, repel. 2630. Extricate, 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 to free from entanglement or difficulty, disentangle, release, entangle. 2631, snivel, 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 to complain or cry in a whining manner, whine, whimper, boast. 2632, rarefied, 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 made more subtle, refined, or esoteric, elevated, exclusive, common. 2633, pastoral, 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 relating to the countryside or to the lives of people who live there, rural, rustic, urban. 2634, obese, 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 excessively overweight, overweight, corpulent, thin. 2635, molten, 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 made liquid by heat, liquefied, fused, solid. 2636, invincible, 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 too powerful to be defeated or overcome, unbeatable, unconquerable, vulnerable. 2637, auxiliary, 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 providing supplementary or additional help and support, additional, supplementary, primary. 2638, potable, 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 safe to drink, drinkable, undrinkable. 2639, preventable, 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 able to be stopped from happening, avoidable, stoppable, inevitable. 2640, centigrade, 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 relating to the temperature scale with 0 degrees for freezing and 100 degrees for boiling, Celsius, Fahrenheit. 2641, decrepit, 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 worn out or ruined because of age or neglect, dilapidated, ramshackle, sturdy. 2642, visceral, 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 relating to deep inward feelings rather than intellect, instinctive, gut, logical. 2643, elusive, 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 difficult to find, catch, or achieve, evasive, slippery, clear. 2644, shrewd, 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 having or showing sharp judgment, astute, sharp, naive. 2645, concave, 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 curving inward, hollow, depressed, convex. 2646, myopic, 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 lacking foresight or intellectual insight, short-sighted, narrow, farsighted. 2647, cacophonous, 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 involving harsh or jarring sounds, discordant, noisy, harmonious. 2648, glacial, 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 extremely cold or unfriendly, icy, frosty, warm. 2649, threadbare, 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 worn out or shabby from overuse, shabby, worn, pristine. 2650, apropos, 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 with reference to, concerning, regarding, concerning, irrelevant. Unit 54, 2651, cantata, 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 a vocal composition with instrumental accompaniment, choral work. 2652, cerebration, 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 the action of thinking, thought, cognition, unconsciousness. 2653, effigy, 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 a sculpture or model of a person, image, likeness, original. 2654, foresight, 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 the ability to predict or the action of predicting what will happen, prescience, anticipation, short-sightedness. 2655, memento, 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 an object kept as a reminder, souvenir, keepsake. 2656, outskirts, 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 the outer parts of a town, periphery, edge, center. 2657, plethora, 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 an excess of something, abundance, surplus, scarcity. 2658, reminiscence, 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 a story told about a past event. Memory, recollection, forgetfulness. 2659. Responsiveness, responsiveness, responsiveness. Reacting quickly and positively, reactivity, sensitivity, apathy. 2660. Sage, sage, sage. A profoundly wise person, guru, fool. 2661. Statute, statute, statute. A written law passed by a legislature. Law, ordinance, custom. 2662. Transition, transition, transition. The process of changing from one state to another. Changeover, conversion, stasis. 2663. Whiff, whiff, whiff. A slight smell carried in the air. Scent, odor, odorless. 2664. Zealot, zealot, zealot. A person who is fanatical about a cause. Fanatic, extremist, moderate. 2665. Alleviate, alleviate, alleviate. To make suffering less. Severe, relieve, ease, aggravate. 2666. Calibrate, calibrate, calibrate. To adjust or mark a measuring device. Adjust, standardize, misadjust. 2667. Harass, harass, harass. To subject to aggressive pressure. Badger, torment, comfort. 2668. Indulge, indulge, indulge. To allow oneself to enjoy a desired pleasure. Satisfy, pamper, deny. 2669. Jettison, jettison, jettison. To throw or drop something from an aircraft or ship. Discard, dump, retain. 2670. Matriculate, matriculate, matriculate. To enroll at a college or university. Enroll, register, expel. 2671. Petrify, petrify, petrify. To make someone so frightened they cannot move. Paralyze, stun, encourage. 2672. Procrastinate, procrastinate, procrastinate. To delay or postpone. Delay, defer, act. 2673. Quell, quell, quell. To suppress or put an end to. Suppress, crush, incite. 2674. Replenish, replenish, replenish. To fill something up again. Refill, restore, deplete. 2675. Swill, swill, swill. To drink greedily or to feed livestock with refused liquids. Guzzle, sip. 2676. Withdraw, withdraw, withdraw. To remove oneself from participation. Retreat, pull out, advance. 2677. Acrimonious, acrimonious, acrimonious. Angry and bitter. Harsh, caustic, cordial. 2678. Aghast, aghast, aghast. Filled with horror or shock. Shocked, horrified, unmoved. 2679. Arable, arable, arable. Land suitable for growing crops. Fertile, cultivable, barren. 2680. Bereft, bereft, bereft. Deprived of or lacking something. Bereaved, deprived, replete. 2681. Comatose, comatose, comatose. In a state of deep unconsciousness. Unconscious, insensible, alert. 2682. Forthright, forthright, forthright. Direct and outspoken. Candid, straightforward, evasive. 2683. Glossy, glossy, glossy. Shiny and smooth. Lustrous, sleek, matte. 2684. Infantile, infantile, infantile. Childishly immature. Juvenile, childish, mature. 2685. Insatiable, insatiable, insatiable. Impossible to satisfy. Unquenchable, voracious. Satisfied. 2686. Integral, 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 necessary to make something complete. Essential, fundamental, non-essential. 2687. Leery, 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 cautious because of realistic suspicions. Wary, suspicious, trustful. 2688. Outmoded, 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 no longer in fashion. Obsolete, outdated, modern. 2689. Palatable, 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 pleasant to taste, tasty, acceptable, unpalatable. 2690. Pervasive, 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 spreading widely throughout, widespread, ubiquitous, scarce. 2691. Portly, 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 having a stout body, fat, stout, corpulent, slender. 2692. Sinuous, 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 having many curves and turns, winding, serpentine, straight. 2693. Subtle, 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 so delicate or precise as to be difficult to analyze, nuanced, elusive, obvious. 2694. Tendentious, 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 expressing a particular cause or point of view, biased, partisan, unbiased. 2695. Tender, 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 showing gentleness and concern, gentle, caring, harsh. 2696. Tremulous, 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 shaking or quivering slightly, trembling, quivering, steady. 2697. Unassailable, 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 unable to be attacked or questioned, invincible, impregnable, vulnerable. 2698. Unwarranted, 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 not justified or authorized, unjustified, groundless, justified. 2699. Venturesome, 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 willing to take risks, adventurous, bold, cautious. 2700. Whimsical, 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 playfully quaint or fanciful, capricious, playful, serious. Unit 55. 2701. Accretion, 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 gradual growth, accumulation, reduction. 2702. Acme, 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 the highest point, pinnacle, nadir. 2703. Agglomeration, 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 a cluster, cluster, scattering. 2704. Antecedent, 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 a preceding event, predecessor, consequence. 2705. Badinage, 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 playful banter, banter, seriousness. 2706. Beeline, 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 a straight direct course, direct route, detour. 2707. Cauldron, 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 a large cooking pot, cauldron, kettle. 2708. Comeuppance, 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 deserve punishment, retribution, reward. 2709. Complicity, 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 partnership in wrongdoing, conspiracy, innocence. 2710. Grievance, 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 a complaint, complaint, satisfaction. 2711. Hoax, 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 a deceptive act, deception, trick, truth. 2712. Inequity, 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 lack of fairness, injustice, equity. 2713. Largesse, 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 generosity in giving, generosity, munificence, stinginess. 2714. Ornithology, 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 the study of birds. 2715. Polygamist, 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 one having multiple spouses, bigamist, monogamist. 2716, subtlety, 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 a fine distinction, nuance, obviousness. 2717, terminology, 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 specialized vocabulary, nomenclature. 2718, unanimity, 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 complete agreement, consensus, discord. 2719, vicissitude, 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 a change of circumstances, fluctuation, stability. 2720, acclaim, 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 to praise enthusiastically, applaud, criticize. 2721, cavil, 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 to make petty objections, quibble, approve. 2722, codify, 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 to arrange laws systematically, classify, revoke. 2723, decry, 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 to condemn openly, denounce, applaud. 2724, dote, 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 to show excessive fondness, adore, indulge, neglect. 2725, exalt, 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 to praise highly, praise, glorify, criticize. 2726, excise, 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 to remove by cutting, cut out, expunge, insert. 2727, expedite, 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 to speed up, hasten, delay. 2728, ferret, 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 to search out, scour, overlook. 2729, fluctuate, 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 to vary irregularly, oscillate, stabilize. 2730, incapacitate, 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 to disable, debilitate, enable. 2731, slough, 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 to shed or discard, molt, retain. 2732, aboriginal, 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 indigenous, native, foreign. 2733, atypical, 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 not typical, unusual, typical. 2734, celebrated, 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 famous, renowned, obscure. 2735, fallow, 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 inactive, dormant, active. 2736, grotesque, 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 distorted, bizarre, bizarre, normal. 2737, imminent, 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 about to occur, impending, distant. 2738, immune, 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 resistant to, exempt, susceptible. 2739, irrelevant, 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 not related, immaterial, relevant. 2740, martial, 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 warlike, military, peaceful. 2741, monosyllabic, 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 using one syllable, brief, verbose. 2742, perfidious, 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 deceitful, treacherous, loyal. 2743, pusillanimous, 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 cowardly, timid, courageous. 2744, quiescent, 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 inactive, dormant, active. 2745, quizzical, 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 expressing puzzlement, perplexed, unenigmatic. 2746, rampant, 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 widespread, unchecked, controlled. 2747, reputed, 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 said to be, alleged, proven. 2748, skeptical, 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 doubting, doubtful, credulous. 2749. Universal, 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 applicable everywhere, general, specific. 2750. Vulnerable, 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 open to harm, susceptible, invulnerable. Unit 56. 2751. Ancestry, ancestry, ancestry. One's family or ethnic descent, lineage, heritage. 2752. Apiary, apiary, apiary. A place where bees are kept, beyard. 2753. Assumption, assumption, assumption. A thing accepted as true without proof. Supposition, presumption. Fact. 2754. Beam, beam, beam. A long, sturdy piece of timber or metal. Girder, joist. 2755. Brawn, brawn, brawn. Physical strength, muscle, power, weakness. 2756. Brunt, brunt, brunt. The main force or impact. Force, impact, support. 2757. Cordon, cordon, cordon. A line or circle of police or guards preventing access. Barrier, blockade. Opening. 2758. Demeanor, demeanor, demeanor. Outward behavior or bearing. Manner, conduct. 2759. Demise, demise, demise. Death or the end of existence. Death, downfall, birth. 2760. Detonation, detonation, detonation. The action of causing a bomb or explosive device to explode. Explosion. Diffusion. 2761. Duration, duration, duration. The length of time something lasts. Length span. 2762. Hilarity, hilarity, hilarity. Laughter or amusement, merriment, gaiety, sorrow. 2763. Indignation, indignation, indignation. Anger provoked by what is perceived as unfair treatment, resentment, outrage, contentment. 2764. Litigant, litigant, litigant. A person involved in a lawsuit, plaintiff, defendant. 2765. Narrative, narrative, narrative. A spoken or written account of events, story, account. 2766. Nemesis, nemesis, nemesis. A long-standing rival, an archenemy, adversary, foe, ally. 2767. Paroxysm, paroxysm, paroxysm. A sudden attack or violent expression of emotion. Fit, convulsion, calm. 2768. Pittance, pittance, pittance. A very small amount of money. Trifle, meager amount. Fortune. 2769. Prank, prank, prank. A practical joke or mischievous act. Joke, gag, seriousness. 2770. Precept, precept, precept. A rule or principle guiding behavior. Principle, rule. 2771. Predator, predator, predator. An animal that preys on others. Hunter, carnivore, prey. 2772. Prerogative, prerogative, prerogative. A right or privilege exclusive to a particular individual. Privilege, entitlement, duty. 2773. Protuberance, protuberance, protuberance. A thing that protrudes from a surface. Bulge, projection, indentation. 2774. Rivulet, rivulet, rivulet. A small stream. Brook, creek, lake. 2775. Solace, solace, solace. Comfort or consolation in a time of distress. Comfort, consolation, aggravation. 2776. Tiller, tiller, tiller. A lever used to turn a boat's rudder, rudder handle. 2777. Tirade, tirade, tirade. A long, angry speech. rant, diatribe, praise. 2778. Vantage, vantage, vantage. A position giving a strategic advantage. Advantage, benefit, disadvantage. 2779. Chafe, chafe, chafe. To make sore by rubbing, abrade, irritate, soothe. 2780. Cite, cite, cite. To quote as evidence, mention, refer, ignore. 2781. Convoke, convoke, convoke. To call together a meeting or assembly. Assemble, summon, dissolve. 2782. Foretell, foretell, foretell. To predict or tell of. Beforehand. Predict, forecast. Ignore. 2783. Hibernate, hibernate, hibernate. To spend the winter in a dormant state. Overwinter, awake. 2784. Insight, insight, insight. To encourage or stir up violent actions. Provoke, instigate, deter. 2785. Polarize, polarize, polarize. To divide into two sharply contrasting groups. Divide, split, unify. 2786. Underscore, underscore, underscore. To emphasize or stress. Emphasize, highlight, downplay. 2787. Academic, academic, academic. Relating to education or scholarship. Scholarly, educational, practical. 2788. Actuarial, actuarial, actuarial. Relating to actuaries or actuarial science. Statistical, mathematical. 2789. Aesthetic, aesthetic, aesthetic. Concerned with beauty or the appreciation of beauty. Artistic, tasteful, ugly. 2790. Ambidextrous, ambidextrous, ambidextrous. Able to use both hands equally well. Two-handed, one-handed. 2791. Aromatic, aromatic, aromatic. Having a pleasant smell. Fragrant, odorous, odorless. 2792. Austere, austere, austere. Severe or strict in manner. Stern, harsh, lenient. 2793. Euphonious, euphonious, euphonious. Pleasant to hear. Melodious, harmonious, discordant. 2794. Hypercritical, hypercritical, hypercritical. Excessively and unreasonably critical, especially of small faults. Fault-finding, lenient. 2795. Magnanimous, magnanimous, magnanimous. Generous and forgiving, charitable, benevolent, selfish. 2796. Odorous, odorous, odorous. Having a strong or unpleasant smell. Stinky, pungent, odorless. 2797. Palpable, palpable, palpable. So, intense as to seem almost tangible. Tangible, perceptible, intangible. 2798. Ponderous, ponderous, ponderous. Slow and clumsy because of great weight. Heavy, lumbering, light. 2799. Preternatural, preternatural, preternatural. Beyond what is normal or natural. Extraordinary, uncanny, ordinary. 2800. Sardonic, sardonic, sardonic. Grimly mocking or cynical. Sarcastic, scornful, sincere.